Hey peoples, welcome to another movie review of the movie Travis Scott, Look Mom, I Can Fly. As always, I want to say thank you for listening, and let's get on to the review. So Travis Scott, Look Mom, I Can Fly is a Netflix documentary, and I'm going to read what the plot says. I usually don't do this, but I'm going to read it this time. It says, while crafting his Grammy-nominated album, Astroworld, Travis Scott juggles controversy, fatherhood, and career highs in this intimate documentary. Okay, the reason I read that is because I didn't know what the plot of this movie was for most of it, and that's what makes this movie bad. And it goes through phases because at first you're confused, then you're bored / annoyed, and then you're kind of disappointed at the end. And I'm explaining each one. So the reason why it's confusing in the beginning is because this movie has no direction whatsoever. This is less of a documentary and more of extra bonus footage for fans. Like, there is no through storyline whatsoever. One does show up and you see glimpses of it throughout the documentary, but overall, as in a story to carry you through the actual film, is non-existent. And then you start to see the pattern of the movie, and that pattern is basically random footage of when Travis was a kid, and then some type of studio footage, and then him in a concert. Then it repeats for the most part. If you took out every single concert scene in this documentary would probably be 45 minutes long, if that long at all. By the end, you're disappointed because then you see, oh, this is where the story was. This is what this thing was about. So I know they had a concept, which was Astroworld and him being a little kid and going to a theme park and then it coming back to now and how it all connects. But the movie does a horrible job of explaining that and showing that, okay? It's frustrating by the end because as you think back, there are shots in this movie that if you place them in a specific order, they do fit out a storyline. It would make sense, but it seems like they just didn't have enough material, and so they just shoved a bunch of concert footage in there, and a lack of a good story is what kills the movie. A good example of this is, for instance, Kylie. Let's say I'm a random person, I don't know who Travis Scott is, and I'm watching this documentary. I don't know who she is because when they introduce Kylie, there is no name mentioned, there is no who this is for the most part as I recall. She's just there and they're kissing inside of a car. That's the first time you see her. The next time you see her, they're in a doctor's office and she's pregnant. What the world? Like, it just comes out of nowhere. There's no build up to anything. So that's how it completely runs throughout the movie. A documentary should tell a story. I know it's not a normal movie, but it still tells a story. The biggest one recently is the Fire Festival documentary. It completely tells a story from beginning to end. It introduces the people, who they are, and it takes you beat by beat of what happened, and that takes a good editor, a good storyteller. All documentaries need this. And that's my second biggest issue with the movie. It will be my number one biggest issue, but my number one biggest issue is that all the material was there. That's what's frustrating. You see a clip of Travis Scott watching a video where it's him in front of like a crowd of 15 people. That could have been the beginning of the movie. Instead, it starts off with him on a roller coaster, which does tie in to the rest of the storyline, except they don't come back to that really. You see just more concert footage over and over and over again. And the concert footage was cool. Like, for the first or second time, it was great to see all the fans that love him, which is like, okay, cool, great. You have a great audience. I felt bad for the security who were getting, probably beat up, and the people who got hurt. That sucks. But after you've seen it once or twice, it doesn't matter anymore. It becomes bland. Every concert's gonna look the same. I want more of a storyline. I wish I had more footage of him in the studio constructing Astroworld, because the storyline here is Astroworld, his album, and how it connects to a theme park. And it would have been nice to see him in the studio writing more, talking about it more, creating it more. We see more of his history at Astroworld. Yes, they do show old clips, and I do like how they do parallel it sometimes with him and his daughter, and then videos of him in a big wheel truck and his daughter in a big wheel truck. It's very cute. I like those scenes. Those are the nice parts of the movie, and it has all that. It could have just focused on that and it would have been great, but it just has so much filler in it to pad it out for no apparent reason. Also, what bothered me with the editing or the directing was the grainy footage. And I'm not talking about the footage when he's a kid, it's current footage, which seems to just happen randomly. I thought at first, oh, maybe this is going to be grainy when he's in the studio, as in they're crafting the album, they're working on it, and then when he gets on stage, it's clear like this is the polished version. We already went through all the ups and downs of that album creation process, but no, it's just randomly grainy throughout, and this movie has no complete idea. It's just randomness. I'm still trying to figure out why he got arrested in the beginning of the movie. Like, it doesn't clearly tell you anything. And that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say for Travis Scott, Look Mom, I Can Fly. If you're a fan of Travis Scott, you will enjoy this because you don't need a story. You've been following him nonstop, and this is just extra footage. That's all this is. This is not a documentary. It's just extra random footage about a guy. If you wanted to watch a good movie with a story of somebody's life that you can follow and learn about them more, then this isn't the movie for you. But that's all. If you could really do me a favor and like, thumbs up, retweet, subscribe, all that, I really appreciate it. And as always, thank you for listening. I hope you have a great day. God bless. I'll talk to you tomorrow.